Perception is projection.
What's that mean?
You see what you expect to see. This is why teaching people victimhood is so dangerous, because it makes them victims. Look, these creepy men need to stop staring at women in gyms, otherwise they're going to stop wearing lingerie to go there, and then everybody loses.
Hey folks, welcome back to One and Done. It's your boy George, and today we're going to be taking a look at a video. It's just a short one. This one is of Konstantin Kissin, and he has been interviewed by Chris Williams, and they are discussing victimhood mentality and is this toxic masculinity. Two of my favorite subjects. So without delay, let's jump right in and roll the tape.
Perception is projection.
What's that mean?
It means that you see what you expect to see. You perceive your own projections of the world.
You had that fucking hyper-viral moment about the scar makeup. Tell it again for the people that don't know.
So they did an experiment where they told a group of women that they're going to put scarring on their faces or visual disfigurements of some kind. And then they would go into an interview. And the purpose of the experiment is to work out whether the interviewer is going to treat them differently because of their facial disfigurement. What they didn't tell the women is, as they were leaving to go for the interview, they touched up their makeup and, without showing them the facial disfigurement, removed the scarring. So they went into the interview thinking they're facially scarred, but they weren't. And they came back reporting massive levels of discrimination, specific comments that the interviewer had made about them that they perceived. So you see what you expect to see. This is why teaching people victimhood is so dangerous, because it makes them victims. It makes them expect certain things, and then they will react differently. I mean,
we were constantly told by older generations that used to tell us things like, only Pākehā or white people can do that, or instead of actually teaching us how they got there and how they actually did it. And usually it was by study, sacrifice, and hard work. I mean, we can look at many nationalities and cultures, and they have the cheat code, things like get an education, finish high school, get a job, don't have children till you're married, don't quit that job till you have another job, or even better yet, a career. I feel as though that information would have been much better instead of the victimhood mentality of, oh, you can't do that because you're the wrong skin color, or you're from the wrong neighborhood, or you've got the wrong beliefs, or your sexual orientation is all effed up. It creates doubt in your mind, and it's very hard to shake that doubt, because that doubt has been planted in your head from very, very young. So you go into situations that you want to excel in, and in the back of your mind you've been told, no, you're less than, you can't do that, only they can do that, you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes. And I think this example highlights this problem, this mentality that you go in before you've even given yourself a chance. You go in with a defeated mentality, a victimhood mentality, and then you get the outcome that you've been told you're going to get, which is a negative one. Instead of going in there with a positive mindset, looking for that positive outcome and coming out with that outcome.
Police interactions are a good example of this. If you expect that the police are going to treat you badly because of who you are, you're going to act in a different way and therefore cause more problems. And I say this as somebody, I was a very angry young man, and my wife used to piss me off so much. She would constantly say, like, I'd get into an argument with somebody and I'd be like, that guy's a prick, he did this. And she'd be like, you are creating those situations. You know that, right? And I was like, no, you're... And it took me like a good 10 years to work out. Absolutely, I was. Abso-fucking-lutely, I was.
Pick your battles.
Right? So we perceive the things that we put out into the world. And this is, Peterson talks about this, is you can't see without hierarchy, because your brain has to know what to focus on. And what you focus on is a function of the filter that you project onto the world. I'm focusing on you now instead of the bookshelf behind you. I could have been sitting here picking out a good book this entire time. It's been a waste. But so that's what's happening there. But it's interesting. I mean, I said something at the time. I was like, look, these creepy men need to stop staring at women in gyms. Otherwise, they're going to stop wearing lingerie to go there, and then everybody loses. and the point I'm trying to make is that, like, this is I'm going to say something very controversial here, Chris. You ready? Men are attracted to women.
Whoa.
I've heard about that.
Let's sit with that for a moment.
I've heard about that.
So, this idea that...
Not all men.
you're going to be barely clad and men aren't going to notice that. Sorry, that's not what our brains are for. Our brains are for looking at your ass. That's what they're for. That's what they evolved for. I know it's crudely put.
I learned the term for this new style of gym short. It's got what's called a butt scrunch.
Right.
Have you seen the butt scrunch?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, you're a married man.
Online.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, someone showed me a photo. I tried to look away.
Yeah.
Which is for the people that haven't seen it and aren't training in gyms with like 20-year-olds in. It's like a normal pair of shorts, training shorts for a girl, like kind of tight, but then it's got kind of like a thong bit that separates the ass cheeks out, which has been normalized very quick. Do you remember the first time that wearing just leggings became a thing? Because I do, because it wasn't when I went to uni. So it was after 2006. It was after, maybe it happened while I was at uni, so maybe before 2010. But I remember thinking, wow, that's like everything on display. That's kind of like no pants.
Yeah.
But then also kind of not. And then now it's like, oh, that's kind of like no pants. Well, like that's kind of like just a thong, but blue.
Yeah. So why do people wear this? They wear it for attention. 100%. If you're going there just for a workout, baggy pair of track pants, sweat top, why do you have to have the buns separated? Why? It's like going to the bakery. You got these two buns here, beautifully separated. You're not supposed to look? They only want the good-looking guys to look, I guess. I don't know.
Or like purple or lilac. Or
I feel you've dedicated a lot of time to describing this accurately, which I appreciate.
I'm a casual ornithologist on the side. I wanted to tell you about this.
Can I say something just on that before you move on? Because I think we sort of like we're trying to pretend things all the time, which yes, men shouldn't be pigs, right? We can all agree on that. But in order to not be a pig, I first have to see your ass that you've shoved in my face, right? So I see it. I am then after that not a pig, right? But I see it and it's there. And my brain isn't calibrated or designed or evolved. I mean, the sole purpose of our genes is to reproduce, right? How is that? Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, there's a female frame that's placed around this conversation specifically that I don't think fully, I would maybe go as far as to say, like, sympathizes with the male brain reward system. There is an inbuilt reward system that men have for looking at sexually gratifying objects, even things like two rocks that look a bit like boobs.
Right.
Right?
What's the first thing a boy does when he gets a calculator?
Writes boobs. Yep.
Now, is that because of toxic masculinity, or is that because men evolved for millions of years throughout evolutionary history, including pre-human animals, to seek the opposite sex, and the drive in males is just overwhelmingly strong? Now, once you have noticed that, how you act is where culture and society and civilizing men comes in, right? Just because you saw someone's ass doesn't mean that you're allowed to go and stare at it or grab it or whatever. Mm-hmm. But you saw it, and you're not. It's almost like it happens, and then you're like, okay, I need to.
The question is, if you don't want people to look at it, why do you need to display it? Right? Why do you need to display it? That's the big question. What's the motivation behind it? And are you attracting the wrong sort of attention? Obviously, they want attention, but are you attracting the wrong type of attention? Are people just going to see you for your ass? Is that what you want? Is that the attention that you want? Or do you want them to see you for who you are? Maybe you're more than ass. Maybe show off more. Well, no, I don't mean show off more than your ass. But what I mean is maybe you need to show a different side of you, something else of value.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah. That's how it works. Now, what do you want me to do about that? What are you supposed to do about that? I'm open to suggestions.
Blinkers. Blinker men. Big.
Some people would be in favor of that.
The big veil that goes over the top. Right.
Well, I'm sure you agree. There's nothing there that Constantine said was incorrect. This is what I love about Constantine. His message is sharp and to the point. I love how he throws in a little bit of humor to get the message across. Now, when it comes to victimhood mentality, I think parents and education systems or other influencers shouldn't be promoting a victimhood mentality. It's crippling, it's debilitating, and the destructive effects can be seen for many generations. Let's start telling our children that they can, and here are some of the steps that they can take to give them the better chance to obtain those dreams and goals. Give them a chance to dream. Give them guidance and help those dreams become reality. Now, when it comes to the button spreaders, before you leave home, ask yourself, is this going to draw unwanted attention? If so, maybe wear track pants and a nice t-shirt, or go to an all-female gym. There's no guarantees females won't stare and make unwanted comments. In fact, sometimes females can be very brutal. Now, I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm just going to say that most girls wearing these are because they want attention. And look, no one's complaining except for the girls that are wearing the bun slices. If you don't want to be known for your ass, then don't show your ass. Another world problem solved. It's your boy George. And hey folks, if you haven't yet, make sure you like, share, smash the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. And we'll catch you in the next video.